You know, since I started my channel again, I've been reviewing really good movies. It's been a great streak so far. And I'm sad to say that streak has ended today. We got a bad movie in our hands. Let's talk about it. The Strangers, Chapter 1, directed by Rennie Harlin, starring Madeline Pash and Troy Gutierrez. And the plot of the movie is, after their car breaks down in an eerie small town, a young couple is forced to spend the night in a remote cabin. Panic ensures as they are terrorized by three masked strangers who strike with no mercy and seemingly no motive. Now, the movie is based on the original Strangers movie that came out in 2008, but director Rennie Harlin did state that this movie is a prequel, but then there's been other reports that it's actually a sequel, but then I've been hearing other reports that's a standalone movie, so I don't know where this movie fits in the timeline whatsoever, but to me, from what I saw, it's just pretty much a remake of the original, but in every worst way possible. And I say that because I love the first Strangers movie. That is one of my favorite movies when I look back during the Halloween season. It has some great rewatchability, and at the same time, it is kind of a cult classic when it comes to really good horror suspense movies. So I had a lot of high hopes when the movie got announced that this movie is being rebooted or remaked. I don't know. It's just hard to really tell what it is. But I was, excited because they are making two other movies after the first chapter. And what's even crazier that the other two movies are already filmed. They had a whole trilogy set for this new franchise of The Strangers. And I don't know if I want to watch any of them because this first impression was just not good. What I love about the first Strangers movie is that it had high tension. It really builds suspense. You care about these characters. You want them to survive. These strangers are psychotic. And I feel like in this new iteration, it doesn't really capture all that. I feel like you had the formula right in front of you, but you just decided to water it down and really... There's really no soul or energy when making this movie. Look, I don't want to bash this movie, so let's talk about some of the positives that I kind of have here. I think the three strangers involved are creepy. Yes, they're psychotic. Yes, they are ruthless at times. And I do like the mask. It does pay a homage to the original movie. So there is that creep factor that has the strangers involved. And the ambient setting is cool, right? You're in a cabin and it's in the woods. I like that. It's a creepy setting that it's common for a movie, especially in a horror movie, that if you're isolated in the woods, you don't know what's around you. You're kind of scared, right? You want to make sure that you're protected and safe, and you don't want nothing to ruin your staycation. And that's really all I have for the positives because everything else is just pretty negative. I really have nothing else to say for this movie, but at the same time, I'm just concerned because what was in the process of making this movie? I really wanted the characters, our main two couple characters, to really make us feel like involved, right? Maybe a little more backstory for me to give a shit about them, but I really didn't. I mean, when they were being chased down or trying to be killed, just didn't care. Nothing really made me excited whatsoever. And sure, they are a perfect couple displayed in this movie, but I still want to root for the characters, right? There has to be something flawed or even something remotely interesting to make me be like, oh crap, I don't want them to die. And there's nothing wrong with the actors. I think they're pretty good at their own crap. I just feel like they were just given a really bland, lifeless script. There was really nothing to build out of it, so the chemistry was just not there. And I really can't stand when it comes to really cheap jump scares. I mean, there was no point of the movie to put the volume up high during a jump scare sequence. It's cheap. It just doesn't work. Like, there should be tension involved, right? The first Strangers movie had tension. It makes you on the edge of your seat. Here is just boo! So let's just max up the sound design and make sure that everyone's scared by creepy jump sounds. Like, that doesn't work. Like, come on, everyone's gonna get scared when the volume is really up high. That's just common, man. And maybe the ambient setting could have been better, right? Maybe instead of having a lot of more close-up shots, maybe just push it back a little bit instead of me focusing on the characters' faces. Because in the original Strangers movie, at least there's a whole panel where you see our character in the middle of the living room and there's a stranger right behind her that she doesn't even know about. It just reappears out of nowhere, and that's creepy. Here's a close-up shot. Just have fun with that. It happened way too many times in the movie that I just didn't feel scared whatsoever because it just felt so predictable. Look, overall, I did not enjoy this movie. I'm sad to say that, but it's the truth. Cheap scares, no tension, unrelatable characters. I mean, the formula was right there in front of them. Their holy Bible was right there with the original movie. They just decided not to do that maybe, and that's fine. You know, you could remix it in some ways, but the execution just fell flat. And there is an end credits scene as well, which sets up chapter 2, which I don't know if I want to go into spoilers. I'm just going to mention it super quick. So spoilers if you want to know about the ending, but the strangers end up stabbing the couple. As the cops do come finally, the strangers do escape, and the couple is moved to a hospital, so they are still alive. They're being treated, but one of the strangers is watching over them. So that pretty much sets up chapter 2, which I may or may not watch. I mean, we'll see how I really feel and how the trailers present and maybe the early reactions, but I'm just not excited, man. It didn't really give a good first impression, which I'm kind of bummed about. And that's why my score for The Strangers Chapter 1 is a 1.5 out of 5. That's a pretty low grade for this channel here, and yeah, that's my review for The Strangers Chapter 1. But I want to hear from you guys. Let me know if you're going to watch this movie or not. And if you have, let me know in the comments down below. If you love it, did you hate it? I would like to know your opinions. And guys, that is it for this video. I'll catch you guys on the next review. So hopefully it's a better movie that I get to watch and review. So anyway, guys, have a great day. Take care and bye-bye.